Thank you, Sonny. If you are willing and able, please stand for our national anthem. Good evening and welcome to tonight's Norman Community Band performance. We are so glad that you are here with us. Whether you're here literally in Sharp Hall sitting in front of us or you might be joining us through our live stream, we can't thank you enough for taking time to spend your evening with us. Now, believe it or not, in our 6th season, the Norman Community Band is so excited to continue to offer audition-free, all-volunteer music making for our community. We ask that participants be adults across our community. Some folks, I think, are even driving in from Ada, down from Edmond, so we really appreciate the extra time that they're giving us. But the 100 members that you see here tonight on stage, we're wearing our selected favorite school of the night, if you're wondering what our outfits are, t-shirt. They represent various walks of life. We have teachers, engineers, healthcare professionals, students, retirees, and folks who have just graduated from high school. So we literally are representing musicians over 8 different decades. Is that just not amazing? Right, to have this talent in our community. None of this, though, would be possible if we didn't have the volunteer musicians in front of you, and several in-kind sponsors. Norman Public Schools kindly provides us space to rehearse and music and anything else we need in those ways down to band instruments. OU graciously, thanks to the School of Music, provides us this indoor air-conditioned venue. Again, we cannot thank them enough, yes. And Gilead Music is also one of our in-kind sponsors here in Norman, our local music store. So we deeply are grateful and appreciative of their partnerships. My name is Johnny Margaret McConnell, and I happen to be the co-founder of this amazing group. Tonight's performance is going to be focused on saluting our heroes on Earth and maybe beyond. So from cinematic legends to military service members and from stirring marches to heartfelt tributes, we invite you to sit back and enjoy an evening that honors courage, community, and connection through music. With that said, I am delighted now to turn the concert over to our conductor for the summer, Matt Chandler, who's the director of bands at Norman High School.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're going to start off with Star Wars, but The Force Awakens. Any of y'all's favorite? Anyone's favorite Star Wars? Yeah, no? Who's the least favorite? You hate this one? Yeah, there's a bunch of hands in the back. I thought so. Well, I think you'll enjoy our performance, and may the Force be with you. Thank you very much. Did you feel like you were in the movie theater? Good, we did our job. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So as I was making this program, thinking of pieces that our community of musicians as well as you would enjoy, I was thinking kind of gearing towards the 4th of July. May the 4th be with you. And then patriotic music as well. But this next tune has nothing to do with any of that. It's just something that is fun. It's a band classic a little bit, if you know the band composer David Holsinger. This is from 1985, written for, I think he did 2 dances of his children. This is Haven Dance, his daughter. So hopefully you can picture a little 8-year-old girl that's trying to be a ballerina, bouncing around the couch and the wall as we play. So enjoy, please, Haven Dance. Now, a little bit more getting into the patriotic mood. Safely Rest by Nicole Piuno puts together two melodies, Amazing Grace and Taps. I think two familiar melodies that we're all kind of used to. So this part of the program, finding something beautiful to share with you and us, being able to play lyrical music. So listen for, especially Taps. The way she puts Taps into Amazing Grace, I think is really, really neat. And this is just a beautiful piece of music. I know you're going to all go, when it's all over. I appreciate you guys being here and enjoy Safely Rest.
I'm going to be your announcer for the next piece, the Marches of the Armed Forces. I would like to first, as I will announce you if you were somebody that served in our armed forces, but I do want to recognize our members in our Norman Community Band. If you served in the armed forces, would you raise your hand, or would you stand up, please? If you served in the armed forces? Our band. Okay, so when I announce your branch, feel free to stand up and you may applaud as I announce. Before I go back and play, we have a special guest that was going to come up and speak. I would like to invite the director of the School of Music at OU, Dr. Jonathan Nickel, to come up here and speak.
Hi everyone, how's it going tonight? Good evening, hi. Isn't this an amazing band playing wonderful music in a way to celebrate arts and community here in Norman, Oklahoma? Let's give them a round of applause. I'm a saxophonist, and sitting in the audience, I was just thinking how much I want to get my own instrument out and apply. Ooh, shout out to the saxophonists. Anyways, there's so much wonderful art and music that goes on here at the OU School of Music. I'd just like to invite you to our concerts that we have in the upcoming season. There's all sorts of series, bands, orchestra, choir, guest artists, events. It's really wonderful. We have an amazing patron group called the Friends of Music, and in fact, several members of the Norman Community Band are on the board of the Friends of Music. So if you're looking to support our program in the School of Music, that's a great way to do it. We're going to launch some new benefits for membership with some amazing experiences. But most importantly, come to concerts, listen to music, support these wonderful artists, and just know how much it means to the School of Music to have you all in our building this evening listening to this amazing concert. So enjoy the rest of the program. Thanks.
All right, one more, and then there's an encore, as you can imagine, there usually would be, right? One more, our last one. What is a band concert without some Sousa, right? So, the Invincible Eagle, written 1901-esque, we're playing the Marine Band version, which has some writings, because Sousa Band, they would kind of tour around and change up the way they play it. So we're going to play it kind of the way the Marines would play it via some writings that they read from some Sousa members. But interesting little tidbit just for you to ponder about. Sousa assumed that this tune would surpass the Stars and Stripes Forever to be a bigger, better patriotic march. But alas, not many of you probably know the Invincible Eagle, but you're going to get to know it now. Enjoy.
Again, thank you so much for joining us this evening and partaking in our music. Can you believe that this is what we brought you after only 3 rehearsals? Right? Yes. Give it up for this amazing music. Now, if just like Dr. Nichols was talking about, you're like, well, where's my instrument? Maybe I can grab it and get on stage. Maybe you could join us in July, right? We're open. Find us on Facebook. You can send us a message that way. Ask your friends, family who are in it how to reach me. I'm happy to send you information. We're sending out music on Friday. So you got a night to sleep on it. Well, maybe 2. All right? But we'd love to have you, or pass the word along to other musicians, please, that you know in the community. We are an open group, just like I mentioned, non-audition. Please come to one of our 3 rehearsals and then play with us in July. So we'll be back. We're expecting, if you're not on stage with us, that you're going to return to that seat. Okay? So bring even more folks with you so they can hear this great music and all the great work and dedication that's been behind that. But like I mentioned, we're on Facebook. That's probably the easiest way, other than a group member, to find us and to connect. This last encore, as Matt Chandler was saying, is going to need a little participation from you. So I'm going to go ahead and get you out of your seats. You're going to know what to do, but he'll give you a cue as well. So, as we close this evening in Sooner style with the Rodgers and Hammerstein classic, Oklahoma.